Hi, my name is Gwen Peterson. I'm a certified independent health coach and global director with Optavia. If you have just stumbled upon my channel for the first time, welcome. If you haven't already, click subscribe so that you see my upcoming videos as I release those. And if what I have to say today offers value, please make sure to click the like button so I can gauge my content on the amount of likes that people click on. Then also, if you haven't joined my closed group on Facebook called Gather with Gwen, make sure to go find me over there to see exclusive content and challenges and things like that that I have to offer. So today's video is going to be about my personal update. I am super excited to share with you where I am personally and some of the things that have been going on with my journey. So sit back, relax, and enjoy what I have to say. Hi, you guys. I'm so excited to update you on where I am with my health journey because I am so excited about what's going on with me. But I also want to educate you on a couple of things that have been going on with my health because this might help you as you're working through your journey. Before I go into what has gone on with me and where I am, I want to front load as I talk about some of these health issues and hormone imbalances. I want to let you know that I talk to a lot of women that come to me saying, I think my thyroid's off or it's sluggish because I'm not losing weight, or I think my cortisol levels are what's causing me not to be able to lose weight. What I can tell you is I've coached over 2,000 people in the last 8 years, and I can count on one hand that those were actually what was holding them back from losing weight. All of the others, it was that they weren't doing the program correctly. They weren't, and I have a whole video that talks about this, they weren't weighing out their meat, they weren't getting the correct fats, they weren't getting enough water, and they weren't sticking to program. So the thing is if you are not being consistent on all of that, you wouldn't know whether or not you have other health issues going on. So what I can tell you is if you think you have those issues, I would highly suggest working with a medical professional who specializes in hormones. And what I found is when I go to a regular doctor or even an endocrinologist, this is where I started back in the day, they did all my hormone work and I was in the range. Even if it was 5 points out of the range, they're like, you're in the range. Where a hormone doctor that really specializes in specifically only hormones, when they see somebody right above almost the outside of the range, they're nope, we need you in the middle. So I'll tell you the gal that I have been working with that has literally helped me through all of this. Her name, she's out of Salt Lake. I've had a lot of clients start working with her, and she does it all via Zoom. Her name is Carsen, K-A-R-S-E-N, Delgado. Her website is bodybalancedcare.com. And the first step was, once I got to that point, to start running all my blood work to figure out what was off. So let me fast forward a little bit so that you know where I am with my journey, because a lot of coaches gain weight. And of course, I have lost focus on and off as well too. But here's kind of what my journey has been, is I started at 181 when I first found Optavia. Then I got all the way down to 136 pounds. Then I basically kept all of that weight off for almost about 4 years. Of course, I teetered a little here and there, but you know, I kind of had to learn how, if I wanted to eat my Sam's Club cupcakes, because I love Sam's Club cupcakes, that I couldn't eat more than one, and I had to pair it with the correct amount of protein, or only eat half so I could actually balance it correctly. So I kept all of that weight off for a really long time. And then my now 12-year-old daughter, who was 8 at the time, got very, very sick. She was in and out of the hospital for 6 months. They didn't know, there was multiple things going on. By the end, what we found out was that she had had a parasite, and in her digestive tract, due to secondary water where we live. She was young, she drank out of the hose. Okay, so they gave her way too many antibiotics. The specialists at Primary Children's gastro department, and it fried her digestive tract. So then over the course of that 6 months, we played this very intricate dance of getting the enzymes up to bring the stomach acids down. Trust me, it's the same exact thing for people with acid reflux. I've learned a lot about those enzymes, and that's why you hear me talk all about the bromelain. Love the bromelain because it helps the enzymes naturally raise to bring the stomach acids down and really helps reset that flora. So I kind of feel like some of these experiences for me have really helped my clients because I've learned a lot through these wacky experiences. The side effect for me was that when I was up till 2, 3, 4 a.m., going back and forth to the emergency room, all of these different things, along with when we weren't at the ER, her being up till 5 a.m., sometimes buckled over in pain, nothing I could do. When you go for 4 to 6 months on 2 to 3 hours of sleep, your adrenal glands fry. You cannot function like that. So I knew something was off. I started working with some chiropractors because my insurance didn't cover a hormone specialist. A lot of insurances won't. And so I kind of was trying to work on that. But during that 6-month window, I got up to 165 and I stayed there for about 2.5, 3 years. And that was me just trying to figure out how to eat right when you have no adrenal gland function. So then your cortisol's through the roof and and then by default, insulin resistant and all of that. All of these things were happening, but I didn't quite have the right tool or doctor at the point. So I kind of stayed at 165. And then 2 summers ago, I ended up getting mono on top of fried adrenal glands, toast, right? And the only way I could even keep my eyes open was with sugar. And I lived that way for about 5 months until the mono went away. And of course, where do you think I was? I sat around 175, 180. So at that point I was like, okay, I'm taking all these wacky supplements from Amazon that I was trying to figure out. And then at that point last summer, I finally was like, okay, something has to give because I'm doing the mental component. I'm trying to eat good and I felt awful when I was eating good. Now, here's the thing is, like I said, I've run into very few people that are on the 5-in-1 that don't feel good. Because when you stabilize your blood sugar, normally if you have a few hormone imbalances, it will naturally work its way out, but not when you have so many things going on that I did. So I went and started working with a gal. I've had multiple clients start working with her. She's a nurse practitioner that specializes in hormones. She's out of Salt Lake, but will do Zoom video conferences and all of that. Her name is Carsen, Karsen, Delgado, Delgado, and her website is bodybalancedcare.com. And what she did is she started having me run all this blood work. And what we quickly found was that, like I'm saying, there was 0 adrenal function. And my cortisol was so wacky because it's a yin yang. Just like with my daughter, when the enzymes in her stomach was low, the acids had to compensate to break down the food. For me, my adrenals were low, so by default, the cortisol was high because like when somebody would run, like if you ran to your mailbox, somebody with functioning adrenals, your adrenal glands release adrenaline. For me, because they weren't working, it would just release cortisol. And so basically, this is where I'm excited. Sorry, I'm 7 minutes in and telling you where we've gotten to this. But what she did is the first thing she said to me is, Gwen, remove everything you know about health and wellness because at this point, none of it's going to matter. We have to heal your body. And if you try to go into a caloric deficit to try to pull this weight off, you will fry those adrenal glands even more. Now remember, don't take this as advice for you why you shouldn't stay on the program. The only time I ever suggest anybody shouldn't do the program is if they actually have blood work to show that this is not going to work for them, because trust me, balanced eating is the way to go 95% of the time. But for me, what she was telling me is still eat balanced and eat the best you can, but don't go into a caloric deficit or it's going to hurt those adrenal glands even worse. So I got to trust the process. And what I loved about her is she is not one of these that was chucking a bunch of medications at me. Some medications she put me on, and some things that she put me on were supplements. And we did the dance and kept running the blood work every 30, 60, 90 days to get me into that sweet spot. Now, when you are messing with your hormones, sometimes I didn't want to eat at all, and other times all I wanted was sugar. And she just kept saying, Gwen, this is your hormones. Let it ride. You do you. And I remember one time I was on a client check-in, and right after I ate a bunch of sugar because I was so drained. And I remember saying, this is not me. And she goes, we are healing you, Gwen. You are past the point of just nutrition healing you right now. So I got all the way up to 193 in January. I'm 5'4". It was killing me. But let me tell you, this corner turned. And all of a sudden, I was waking up before my alarm. I was having energy through the day, and I have felt great. So I reached back out to her again, and we did our video conference, and she basically said, you get the green light. Let's go. Now, I have been afraid, because you realize how many times I tried to start and stop and start and stop, that it was scary to me because I have failed so many times and I didn't want to blow out my adrenal glands again. So from about the end of January until 3 weeks ago, I've just been trying to eat balanced, not watching my calories, not on the 5 and 1, and I pulled off 9 pounds doing that, okay? And then I finally was like, okay, I'm still feeling great. Let's go all in. So 3 weeks ago, I went back on the 5 and 1, and I am at the end of week 3 right now, and I am down another 10.2 pounds. I was going to do this video when I actually hit 20 pounds down, but I just felt like I had time today to kind of give the whole synopsis of what has gone on over the course of this. So I'm hoping you guys will make sure to stick with me as I keep documenting what's going on for me, because I'm back. Like, I'm so excited again. But I'm telling you, what I worked on from January when she gave me the green light is, just because I had the ability to eat right didn't mean this was going to work at all. So I have been very diligent, just like I talk about in my videos, of doing the mental component every single day. So one of my favorite resources right now, you've heard me talk about Never Binge Again. I have found a book called Chasing Cupcakes, and it's all about balanced nutrition, balancing the blood sugar to help your hormones to then release the weight, all while understanding this. And she has over 800 podcasts. If you are struggling on the mental component, I highly suggest you go to her Primal Potential podcast and scroll all the way to the bottom and start with number 1. Because I knew for me, when I was gonna get back into this, I've had 3, almost 4 years of my brain telling me it's not gonna work, you don't feel good, all of these things going on, that I had to work on this as I was working on the nutrition to get back into the trenches. And that's why I didn't even start back on the 5 and 1 until 3 weeks ago, because I knew I needed to be ready. And when people are telling me they're falling on and off the program, you wanna know what my response is? Table the program, work on the mental component every day, and guess what will naturally happen? That nutrition will start coming back in because your brain isn't doing all the wacky stuff. So I'm just super excited to tell you where I am, tell you about the Chasing Cupcakes book and the Primal Potential podcast, and just reminding you that my motto is always just don't quit. And as you can hear, that's what I've been doing with my health for obviously 8 years, but really the last 4 years. I could have just given up and just been like, forget it. I'm going to be overweight the rest of my life. I'm going to be tired, all of these things. But I knew there was a better answer. So what I'm telling you is, if you think that's you with the hormone imbalance, go get all your hormones checked. If that if you think that it really is just that you're not eating correctly, because again, the stabilized nutrition fixes a lot of that, then guess what? Get back going on the mental component. Because at the end of the day, you just get to keep moving that needle forward. And even for me, even if that scale was going up, it wasn't moving the scale forward, it was moving the scale in the wrong direction. But I trusted the process, that it was moving my health in the right direction. And now here I am, 10.2 pounds in 3 weeks, results not typical. I'll be throwing a disclaimer in here after, and 19 pounds since the end of January. And do I know what my body's going to do month after month after month to get me back down to that 135 pound mark? I have no clue. I may have months where I only lose 5 pounds a month, but now that I feel great, I can actually focus on this and the nutrition at the same time, and let whatever that scale says be what it says, because I'm moving my needle forward. So please comment below on your thoughts. I knew that this was going to be long, but I've had a bunch of my people in Gather with Gwen tell the whole story, even if it's long. So again, if you are just finding my channel, make sure to subscribe so you can see not only my follow-up of where my journey's going from here, but also so you'll see every video that I load about the mental component, because that's where I focus. If what I've said to you resonated with you, please click that like button. And then of course, if you have not joined the Gather with Gwen closed group on Facebook, make sure to go join that group, because we will be launching a health and wellness challenge again in the next couple of weeks. So thanks for sticking with me and hearing my story. Comment below and let me know where you are with your journey, and I can't wait to see you next time when I load another video. So make it a great day and just don't quit. Bye guys.